Hello everyone, William here from 222 Productions, and I am here to talk to you about the Dallas Regional Finals of American Ninja Warrior Season 10 in approximately 20 minutes or less, starting right now. Oh my god. This episode sucked! Oh my god. This was the worst episode so far. Easily. Oh god, I just remember watching this episode 45 minutes into the 2-hour show, because I watch it live on NBC as it's airing. I'm just looking at the clock and I'm just like, oh my god. We are only 45 minutes in and I want this to end so badly right now. This was crap. Oh my god, this episode sucked. So let me tell you why it sucked. There's a few reasons why it sucked. So let's break down the course really quickly. So we got the archer steps. Like I said, I like it. Catch and release. This is one of the few obstacles that actually got buffed and not nerfed, because they removed the cargo net. So you got to actually launch yourself onto the platform. You can't catch the net. Then you got the spider drop. I still think spider drop sucks as an obstacle. So whatever. Then they replaced the tuning forks with the broken bridge. So here's the thing. Either for the season, they're planning on rotating obstacles in general, or they really wanted to to nerf the tuning forks. And you can't really nerf them too much. Otherwise, they just be like a bunch of platforms that you run across that don't move at all. But the broken bridge, definitely easier than the tuning forks, which took out a lot of people last time. Then you got Crank It Up, which once again was nerfed because there's only 2 cranks instead of 3, which is par for the course from last year. Warped Wall, Salmon Ladder, and then they brought back the freaking Nail Clipper, which I don't like. I think it's a bad obstacle. It's dumb. It's awkward. I don't like it. And then you have Fallout, which is another obstacle I don't like, for multiple reasons. First off, this was sponsored by Mission Impossible Fallout, the movie. The first time someone got to that obstacle, they played a clip of a bunch of the actors like Simon Pegg and not Tom Cruise, a bunch of people who are in fact not Tom Cruise, talking about Mission Impossible Fallout in like the most bored way possible. They didn't sound excited to talk about the movie, even though apparently the movie's like really good. But also, I'm watching this preview just thinking, why couldn't they get Tom Cruise? He's like, the star, the lead star of the movie. But like every time they got to this obstacle, Eisman kept saying Mission Impossible Fallout, Mission Impossible Fallout. Like the obstacle might just be called Mission Impossible Fallout, not Fallout. But I just want you to think about something for a second. Like, this episode, I think there's a lot of reasons why I don't like this episode. But like every time they got to the 9th obstacle, I heard Matt Eisman say Mission Impossible Fallout. It got to the point to the end where I'm just like yelling at my TV. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I was angry watching this episode by the end, because I started yelling. Like, it was like whatever the Daniel Gill run, which was less. I'm just yelling at my TV saying, say Mission Impossible Fallout one more time. Say it again. Go ahead. I dare you. Do it. Do it. Do it. Ah. My god, I'm so tired of them talking about Mission Impossible Fallout. I was kind of like, I'm not so sure about the whole Ninjago rule thing, but like, they only got 2 people to the Ninjago rule last year. Like, so it wasn't so bad. Like, Mission Impossible Fallout got its money worth this time around. But here's the thing, the obstacle itself, kind of crap. I'm going to be completely honest here. Like, it's a bit of a hodgepodge. Like, the real challenge is the spinning part. But there's only one spinning disc. Like, so you got, like, a pair of laches that are, like, you gotta grab them like this. Which is, like, it's kind of cool. But, like, it's kind of filler. It's filler because the disc is the main challenge. And the fact that there's only one spinning disc, because the second one doesn't spin, it just kind of rotates a little bit, like an unstable bridge sort of thing. Or like a wave runner. So, like, to me, it should just be, like, you going from 2 spinning discs, or like maybe even 3 spinning discs, but like it feels like an obstacle that's like designed around its space, but like this, because those tanks are all about the same size every regional, but like you're limited, and thus it feels like it's an obstacle that there's only 4 parts to it, but 3 of those parts feel like filler that's there because they couldn't just have one. It's yeah, the actual disc part is cool, but like I feel like there needed to be at least 2 spinning discs, and so the fact that there weren't was very disappointing. Indeed. And then, of course, Spider Trap, which I like. So they started with the intro. One note I made is that they really talked up Matisse in this entire episode, but like in the intro and stuff, and like a lot of rookies, and really talked up like some of the new people. Josh Norton was the opening guy. He was a walk-on and a janitor at Iron Grip. Made it to the Nail Clipper. I believe that's good enough to move on for him. Yes, it was. So yeah, good for him. It was fine for what it is. Some guy failed the catch and release on the fast forwards. I didn't catch his name. Andrew Lowe's, who finally got some airtime, but only because he failed the broken bridge. So, that's disappointing. He deserves more love. And then Steven Tucker actually got airtime too. They mentioned that he's a DJ. No one mentioned that he's a Beastmaster, of course. But also he was a walk-on. So, I've complained in the past that Kyle Soderman didn't get on. I wonder if he had stood on the walk-on line, maybe they would have reconsidered. I mean, shouldn't have to, but no, I don't know. Yeah. Steven Tucker's good, but unfortunately, he failed Crank It Up, which I think is where he failed last time. So sometimes it's just a case of like, you can't figure out an obstacle a second time around. And then they did Abel Gonzalez again. They just started midway at his at the bouncing spider. He ended up going out and Fallout. Basically, his profile is about how he's got high obesity in his town. Jermaine Dortch was the next person they showed. He failed the Salmon Ladder. Kind of surprising. I feel like he's done that before, though. It seems to be like a problem obstacle for him. He's got to figure that out. So, oh god. The other thing I didn't like about this is that there was just too much. There was a lot of depressing stuff in the show. Like, high obesity, and it was like one. And now you have Kat Radcliffe, who's a police officer, which is good enough a profile itself. But then it's like, she lost her parents when she was young. Oh boy. Was she the one who got adopted? I believe, yeah, because she lost both parents. I'm just like, oh god. I was not, like, honestly, when I was watching this episode, I was just not in the mood for, like, any sort of, like, depressing story. I was so not having it. She ended up going out on the bouncy spider. She went for the smaller pipe of the 3, and that's unfortunate. Tyler Humphreys failed fast forward segments. Tyler Humphrey failed the Salmon Ladder. Karen Wilton, which is a big surprise because she was the best female in the qualifier, went out on the archer steps. It looked like she hesitated to transfer from the step to the rope and just went right down. And then Adam Sturr also he failed Crank It Up. And then they showed Jeremiah Morgan, which was, yay, he's back. I'm glad they recognized him this time around. But they mentioned that, like, so for those who don't know, he did compete last year, because I remember seeing his name on leaderboards, but he got cut completely. But he didn't compete in Vegas because apparently he got electrocuted, and pretty badly. And this, I'm going to be honest here, the way A&W presented this was pretty bad because the actual electrical effects, the electricity effects was, like, really cheesy and not great, especially when you have a guy later on who was an electrician, and they use like the same effect to represent his job, so it looks really cheap and like recycled. And I don't think they did a good job presenting the story. But you know what? He cleared the course. I think that's the biggest thing to take out of it is that Jeremiah Morgan cleared the course. It's good to see him back. A lot of people don't realize that he has made it to stage 3 in the past. He's one of the few people to do that. And I'm not even sure if the show has even mentioned it. I feel like it's a point that they haven't really brought up. So yeah. So, oh god, they bring up Casey again at this point, and I'm starting to get annoyed more and more as this episode is going on. Nate Burkhalter unfortunately failed the Salmon Ladder. Elliot Jovalete failed the nail clipper. Brittany Hanks, this was just another one of those profiles. It's like she grew up poor, and I'm just like, stop it. Stop it. I don't want to hear these stories. Stop it. She beat the bouncing spider she did? Yeah, she beat the bouncing spider, which is great. Because she injured her knee on the obstacle last year, but she fell in Broken Bridge. Was that enough to move on? It was enough to move on, because the women didn't have the best showing this time around, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm getting really done. Louis Moore ended up going out and crank on a catch and release. Brian Burkhalter went out on the nail clipper. Just two more fast forwards, and then big profile endorsement for Matisse Owahi. All these bunch of ninjas talking about how great Matisse is, and they got a full course shown. He went through this course pretty quickly, which is surprising because of the 5 clears, he actually finished the slowest. I think it's just a testament to how fast everyone was, how good all the clears were on this course. But he ended up clearing. That's good. A&W has big hopes for this guy. It's very clear for that much. And then Thomas Stillings, they showed him during a commercial. One thing that's worth mentioning is that with the commercial runs, the other kind of issue with the commercial runs is that if you watch them on demand, you don't get them. It's only when you're watching on NBC on TV. So that's unfortunate. So if you watch it on Hulu or on NBC.com, you don't get to see this run. More fast forwards, both Brent Stevenson and Jon Stewart went out on the nail clipper. And then Josh Salinas, they did this weird thing where they had a promo for him mid-run. So they started his run mid-run at the Broken Bridge, and then they had a promo mid-run, which is is kind of weird. I don't know. It's weird that they did that. He ended up clearing, which is cool. Andrew Swinghammer failed the nail clipper. Chris Cambre failed crank it up again. Then they did Quest O'Neill. They recycled her promo, and honestly, like I said, I just wasn't in the mood to hear these types of stories. I'm just checked out. I'm getting irritated and stuff. She ended up failing the bounce spider this time around. She tried doing a thing where she grabbed the pole, swung to the platform, and get to the platform, but unfortunately, she fell backwards back into the water, so that didn't work out. So that's unfortunate for her, and she's out. So they gave her a lot of time, and unfortunately, she's not moving on. So that sucks. Matthew Day, they started his run mid-run at the Broken Bridge. He ended up clearing though, so that's good. Eric Brown, that's the guy who I mentioned before, the electrical guy. He ended up failing the nail clipper. Was that good enough to move on? It was not. It was not. That's unfortunate. That's actually kind of surprising that they would just show, with all due respect, just some random guy so late that, I think most people haven't heard of, and, he doesn't even move on. And honestly, it's the nail clipper, so, it's not that was, the most failed obstacle, I believe. If I look really quickly here. It was the most failed obstacle, so there really was nothing memorable about his run. And then they did and then they showed Casey again. They showed her clearing the regional finals, and I'm just enough. Do I have to get the gun again? Yeah, look. Enough with the Casey stuff, okay? She's gone. She's retired. She's not coming back. Get over it. She's going to be competing in the Mae Young Classic. She's doesn't need you anymore. Move on. It's been 4 years since her regional final clear. Move on. And then with Barclay, okay, I'll say this. I'm glad for Barclay. I'm really glad for Barclay. I like Barclay. I'm a Barclay stock fan. She made it to the nail clipper. Easily the best of the women on this episode. And she's moved on. That's great. The one thing that I found was a little, I don't know, insulting was Eisman was like, oh man, so close to victory, to making history. And it's like, I'm sorry, but she failed the 8th obstacle. No, she wasn't. Maybe if she had failed the spider trap, you could say so close to victory. That's the one time I'll let you say so close to victory. But she failed the nail clipper. A lot of people failed the nail clipper. A lot of women have made it to the 8th obstacle at this point. You can't say so close to history of being the second woman to clear when that's not true. But I'm glad she made that far. She deserves it. Some final fast forwards. Mike Murray failed nail clipper, and so did Karsten Williams. And then finally, Daniel Gill. They did a recap of him climbing the Mega Wart Wall. So weird, in retrospect, of how much bigger of a deal they made of Daniel Gill clearing the Wart Wall compared to Adam Rail and Nick Hansen last in the LA regional. Bit weird about that, but John Stewart was on the bubble, and unfortunately, it's not going to work out for him. Daniel Gill is really good, as if you didn't know that already. He went through this course pretty quickly. I don't think he ever really stopped at any point, and he ended up clearing the whole course with the fastest time in under 4 minutes, which is pretty unreal. Definitely doable with this course, obviously because he did it, but it's definitely a speed-friendly course, I should say, compared to some of the other regionals. Because you can do the nail clipper and fall out pretty easily. With just, if you know the movements and you're good at them, you can do those 2 obstacles pretty quickly. So yeah, good on him. So he ended up winning a lot of money. Between winning first place, both regions, and the $10,000 Mega Wall. That's a lot of cash, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but in both regional qualifiers and regional finals, top 3 times, they get money also. So that's big money for Daniel Gill. So good for him. He earned it. He deserved it. Let's go through some stats. This lighting is killing me. I am sweating my butt off in this shirt. I'm wearing this shirt, by the way, in protest of this episode of A&W, because, oh my god, this episode sucked. Daniel Gill at the end was a real pick-me-up, but god, this was this episode dragged. I don't know if I did the best job explaining it, but just between the profile pieces bringing me down, they're still hanging on the Casey thing. Just some of the editing with so many starting runs mid progress, and just I don't know, some of the commentary also. I just checked out, and part of it might have just been my mindset while watching the episode, but I was just so done with the Dallas regional. It's I'm sorry. Get rid of the bouncing spider. Get rid of the nail clipper. I hate them both. I hate them both so much. Let's go through some stats. 33 people took on the course this time. We end up seeing 10 full runs, 4 runs started mid-progress, and 16 fast-forwards. And, of course, all the clears were shown in some capacity. So, for your top 15, we had 5 clears in total. First place went to Daniel Gill, followed by Matthew Day, Josh Salinas, Jeremiah Morgan, and Matisse Awahi. We had 2 people fall out, and I hope that they never bring this back, in the form of Thomas Stillings and Abel Gonzalez, and the remaining 8 people of the top 15 all failed the nail clipper, and that would be Brian Burkhalter, Elliot Jolvet, Karsten Williams, Andrew Swinghammer, Mike Murray, Brent Stephenson, Josh Norton, and Kevin Jordan. And our 2 women moving on are Barclay Stockett, who failed the nail clipper, and Brittany Hanks, who failed the broken bridge. And that is everything I have to say. And I did that in 20 seconds less than 20 minutes. So under the wire, just under the wire with that one. So that's everything I have to say about the Dallas Finals. Obviously, not the biggest fan this time around. Do you disagree with me? I imagine some people are, and that's fine. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And did you like the fallout? What's your opinion on sponsored obstacles? Did this obstacle change your opinion in any way compared to last year with the Ninjago roll? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. We'll have more coverage of American Ninja Warrior and other Ninja Warrior related things all year round. Next time, I will be talking about the Miami Finals. I need to turn off this recording and turn on the AC because I am dying right now. But until next time, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Oh, God. It's hot. Gotta turn this on right now. Oh, thank God. Sweet God.